over at Windows Central, they put up a article saying PlayStation Network's outage over the weekend will hopefully remind Xbox that investing in your own hardware ecosystem is pretty important too. Now, Farrell, you said something when we were speaking, and you said that even if you were on PC, if the game required the PlayStation Network sign-in, that they could not play as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Is that what you told me?
Yes.
Okay. So if even on PC, it could not help them, how and why would Xbox be involved in this conversation?
Xbox should have never been involved in this conversation.
There was literally no reason to say, like, this is a Will Smith moment. You know what I'm saying? This is Will Smith walking up the aisle and just slapping Windows Central in the face, saying, keep my Xbox name out of your motherfucking mouth. Like, there's no fucking reason.
Exactly. I have to agree. There's
Xbox
no
has
freaking
nothing to
reason
do
for
with
this. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. What does this have to do with Xbox? I think we should focus on where the focus is necessary. I think that the media has not taken enough accountability for what is wrong with PlayStation. I think highlighting their shortcomings will actually help them, right? I think that the focus needs to stay on where the issues are.
Yeah.
But this wasn't even about, like, they're not like glazing PlayStation. They're like this place is literally like Xbox is chilling. Everybody's playing their games with no outages, living their best life, and out of nowhere, it's just like, yo, Xbox needs to get their shit together. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like this
didn't happen to us.
So there's a.
What are we talking about, babe? Why? Why mention Xbox? What do they do? Nothing, yo.
Exactly. They didn't do a damn thing.
Well, so Xbox gotta watch out. Because you know.
I won't call them pony bots, but there are this subset of Xbox fans who just fearmonger that Microsoft is gonna off Xbox at some point, and
which is so stupid.
They drive me the craziest, and Jez is definitely one of them at this point. Because I read some of his other tweets, and he was like, you know, Xbox needs to continue to invest in hardware because they're gonna, Satya doesn't value hardware. It's like, I mean, he values the Surface. Surface doesn't sell shit, but they keep making them.
Honestly, I gotta tell you, I honestly don't believe Jez at all with this stuff. I don't think this is real. I honestly don't. I don't think this is just saying, okay, I feel emotional about this, so I'm going to speak. No. I think Jez says, opportunity.
Yeah, this is not a genuine situation where you're like, oh my gosh, what if this happens to Xbox? This would be helpful. I think that PlayStation doesn't get attention when it comes to this stuff. And so they're trying to see how they can incorporate Xbox to get the attention that they need and want. So Xbox, if they have any issues, if they don't have any issues, they make issues up. If PlayStation has a problem, how do we incorporate Xbox into it? And I'm going to go to our boy Bunty real quick over here. Bunty says,
in the building.
Yes. What's good, baby? Happy Tuesday. Thank you for rocking out with us.
Brother. And we did.
Yes.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bunty. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Bunty says Sony fans never accept fault.
And that's why it doesn't sell.
Exactly.
That's why it doesn't sell. That's why writing a negative PlayStation article does nothing.
They don't click into it. They don't care to hear. They put those blinders on and it does not matter. So if you find a way to link it to Xbox, here you go. You get the attention that you're looking for. And I think, you brought it up, Faro, in the issues that it could cause to go ahead and have the PlayStation show and have a game that wasn't announced with a date, and like Hellblade 2 or Starfield, and have that be out there. These are the problematic issues that we face when it comes to the community, and the fact that they want to cry about everything and anything. This is the problem, because they feel that if they link it to anything that's Xbox negative, Xbox has a problem, and people are going to cry about it and have an issue with it and click on it to see why Xbox bad, or what is now out there about it. And this is, at some point, it has to get to a place where this no longer has power. It is, I think, in my opinion, watering down, but like it needs to get there, and it has to. We have too much greatness going on in order to continue to give to these, people that like to run with this narrative and give this type of presence power.
Well,
facts.
That's just what I think.
I think that what they are doing ultimately is they're doing to PlayStation what PlayStation did to Concord. You keep on putting out all this sunshine and rainbow stuff with PlayStation long enough, they start to believe their press clippings, and you're starting to see these games do worse and worse, and the platform start to suffer as a result of it. That's what I think is kind of happening here, because I mean, Xbox gets a lot of negative feedback, and while all of it isn't warranted, Xbox is able to look at that negative feedback and then consider it and make improvements based on that feedback, versus everything that PlayStation does, whether it be their PlayStation Plus service that's actual garbage, or releasing all these remakes and remasters, and we act like it's okay. Like, you keep doing that. PlayStation keeps thinking everything's okay, and the market starts telling them different, but the media keeps telling them that it's okay. And eventually, I think, the media is pushing PlayStation to their own demise in some ways, with this false positivity all the time. Like,
I agree.
They need some bad news. When they do bad, they need to know about it. Like, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, like, I feel like no matter what angle you try to put this statement, like this article in, it just, none of it holds weight, right? Like, they know that they, like, I saw Razor, right? Razor, what's up, fam?
Yo,
thank you for being here, brother. Says, I believe Jez said that relying on PlayStation and PSN for revenue on Xbox games is dangerous. That's, God, that's such stupid shit to say. Yeah. That's so stupid to say. It's so stupid to say. Okay,
I don't
listen.
see...
If they are releasing their game everywhere, and PlayStation is just another place that they release it, how is that relying?
That's the thing. How is that relying? That's the problem. The idea of wanting to bring Xbox to their knees, to put that out there, to make it seem as if Xbox shouldn't be making a console, or won't be making a console, or they're going third party, or that they need PlayStation in any way. I think, and this is the problem, Xbox doesn't just have to deal with the gallopers. They don't just have to deal with the PlayStation camp. They don't just have to deal with the media, but supposedly with these so-called Xbox fans, right? Pony bots, as some of us call them. And it's like a freaking in disguise, right? It's bullshit. It's a lot to deal with. A lot of shit trying to suppress you. I don't see in any way how the only platform that is dropping games nonstop has a ridiculous amount of studios pushing the industry forward, despite the fact that PlayStation continues to try to hold it back. Yep. And so does the media. They continue to push the boundaries and take it where it needs to go. I don't understand how this narrative is still out there. And the idea that they need PlayStation in any freaking way when they're being backed by $1 trillion company is just bonkers. It truly is.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's disingenuous, I think, is the harder part of it. Like,
it screams of desperation.
It does. Ricardo nails it, right? Like,
Ricardo was good, baby.
You have the power
Ricardo
to write
Moncada.
an article that people are going to look at and see, right? This is what he should have wrote. Just should have said Xbox should offer servers to Sony so they can charge them extra and plus the money they get from games. So, hey, maybe Xbox should look into selling PlayStation or leasing the servers to PlayStation so they don't have these fucking outages like Xbox that rarely has a fucking outage. That is an article that would make sense. Like, oh shit, yeah, they should. That's how you listen. Hey, Xbox, don't just put your games over there. Sell them your servers, right? Some shit like that. That is an article that's like, oh shit, yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead and do that. But coming out here trying to compare the two, saying that Xbox is relying, they're not relying, they're doing the opposite. They're taking away the reliance on any one piece of hardware. They're taking the reliance away of just relying on the console of Xbox. They're putting it everywhere. That's the exact opposite of what you're suggesting, which makes no sense whatsoever. But it does if you're trying to generate clicks to get people like us and any other rational person to sit there and be like, nah, like that's some bullshit, right? Like that's some bullshit in a big way, right? And I'm so sick of the bullshit. And listen, we've gone ahead and we've navigated all the bullshit that's been thrown our way.
We have, from
all the pony bots and the fake Xbox fans crying and shit. We slap all that shit away. Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't give a shit. Get the fuck out of here. Don't watch our show. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna cry because we're not crying, nah. Be out. See you later. Just come back whenever you want. Don't talk shit when you do. That's all. Simple.
It's that simple,
right? But it's like with these types of things, it just feels so like it feels so stupid.
Such a reach.
Yeah, like
again, desperation.
So hard to put Xbox in a negative light for nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Literally.
I mean, I could. At this point, I've been around quite a while. I think most of us have been around quite a while that's on this panel. And it's very early in 2025, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Xbox is going to have possibly the greatest year ever for a publisher / platform owner.
Yes.
Forget the console sales, but I mean, if you look at the amount of output they're putting out and the type of quality,
the quality,
the quality, the release cadence. This is probably we're probably in the middle of the greatest single year a publisher / platform holder has had. So I mean, I don't see. I mean, is it possible Xbox steps on a rake this year? Yes, but until they do, the news regarding the platform and the game should be overwhelmingly positive at the moment. Like we shouldn't be getting articles like this with the type of year that Xbox is about to give us, that we see that they're about to give us.
That's the thing. At what point do you go ahead and say enough with the bullshit and where's the grace, right? Where is, because it's bullying, it's attack after attack for no freaking reason, whether they're involved in something or not. You brought up, yes, step on a rake. Yes, listen, I will argue that if something doesn't come out exactly as expected again, or something happens with the amount of freaking games that we're getting, there shouldn't be an issue. There shouldn't be bitching. There shouldn't be crying. There shouldn't be whining. They just should. There should not. When you are the sole platform that is pushing the industry and actually doing it on your own, when you look and you see over at PlayStation, what are they offering this year? What is bringing 2025? What are they bringing? What are they bringing to the table? 2025 is going to be an amazing year in gaming because of Xbox.
Yeah.
Period.
We still don't know what's going to happen. We still don't know what's going to happen with this Switch too. We have no
don't
idea.
know. Honestly, as of right now, I have no interest in that freaking Switch 2. They have not shown me why I need to buy it.
Yeah.
Let's see how they show up.
So
facts. Big facts.
Got 2 great games already.
Fucking A.
Exactly.
Dude, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know. John 907, man. My dude. Thank you for being here, man. Just haven't seen in a minute. What's going on, player? Says any fool can see Xbox is dominating games now. Imagine saying 5 years ago Xbox would be supplying a PlayStation 5 Pro its games. It's golden times.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts. 100%. 100%. Amit says, have you seen Windows Central site? It's 80% ads, 20% article. I got to tell you, yo, like I'm getting more and more frustrated looking at these sites. Like you see how I didn't click into it?
Yep.
Because I'm like unless there's something like a piece of information
X out of it. It just pops into.
It just keeps going. Yep. Same thing with the Inside Gaming. I don't know if you see that one, the Inside Gaming website. Just like you'll be looking at something, boom, something pops up. Like since when did this become like normal? This is like the old movies that used to kind of try to think of what the future was going to be like, and like how they just like ridiculously just put ads in front of your face nonstop. You're like, oh my god, that's not like you're being dramatic. No one's ever gonna do that, right? No, that's what the
fast forward to today.
Yeah,
bro. You look through, like I have a big screen here, and if I click on one of these websites, I get like this much of a window. There's ad up here, ad down here, this much of a space for the actual article, and then there's in that space there's boxes that with ads. And then a box will just take over the whole fucking space. Like, what,
like, and they try to trick you where the X is. They try to trick you where the X is now, so that you accidentally click on the ad. Yep.
That's so annoying.
Like it's wild. So like I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not about that life. So unless there's something particular that I need to see, like I'm not gonna click on this.
Yeah,
Jez, I'm sorry.
I mean, it smells like bull crap. And it's like, I don't need to entertain this nonsense. At some point, it has to end.
100%.
But this is why, like, you know, again, how do you kill the narrative about Xbox games bad, Xbox games being shit, right? And benefit from it. Put them on PlayStation. Then they'll stop talking crap about the games, right? If they're everywhere, they can't do it. You know, and we talk about the narrative and what it's doing to PlayStation, and the idea that PlayStation thought that in any way Astrobot winning Game of the Year or buying Game of the Year or, you know, whatever the heck they went ahead and did, Brive Game of the Year, whatever it was that took place here, because we know it wasn't earned, was going to go ahead and put a spotlight on it and help them with the sales. I mean, they were sadly mistaken. I'm glad that didn't play out in the way that they thought. And they're in the same situation as if they had not ready to bundle it up.
You know, Fuzzy, I feel bad because I feel like because we can't see you, it's hard to know if you're
trying to say something.
Something like, and normally like I'll look at Pharaoh and I'll see him like
the gestures
like, ready to like hop in, and it's like, okay, here you go. So I feel bad, Fuzzy.
But I didn't want to interrupt because you guys have definitely pointed out that there is this skew even amongst some of the Xbox centric media sites that bring up stories that aren't even, I wouldn't say they aren't relevant. They're ill-timed or ill positioned in a way where this isn't an issue where Xbox should have even been brought up, other than like what one of the people in the chat said, where sell them servers. So they have less of these downtime issues. Like I would say in this generation, I could think of at least 4 times that PlayStation has had service down for pretty close to this time period. When it comes to Xbox, I can only think of 2, and all of them have been under 6 hours. In fact, I think one was like 20 minutes and the other one was like an hour and maybe 20 minutes. And typically when live goes down, it doesn't completely go down. The thing I've noticed is whenever there's a major change coming to Game Pass, like when Diablo came to Game Pass, it was right around that time when you start seeing it in Game Pass that it was down. And I think something behind the scenes, some of the coding to get that, game that was originally Blizzard, now that it's first party, I think that sometimes screws up the network, because it wasn't that it wasn't that it was down where you couldn't play games online. It was like, oh, you don't own Diablo anymore. I know goddamn well I own Diablo. I paid the $100 edition, so I know I own it. So it's usually things along those lines where if there's a network hiccup, it's that. And it's fixed within 2 hours. Hey, we hear it. We hear your concerns. We know it's down. Check back with us in 20 minutes. We're working on this, and this. And, you have that rapport with Xbox where they keep you in the loop, or at least it feels like they keep you in the loop. While you can almost imagine the 20 to 200 people in the background, flicking switches and changing wires or whatever they got to do to get this up and running. But when it comes to PlayStation, it just feels like, well, we got your money, so what are you going to do? Type of thing. They seem to
sit tight and wait
about it. Yeah, exactly. And this was not a time to bring up Xbox, other than sell them servers. I think I understand where he was trying to go with this, but I still don't see the parallel. I still, like, if anything, it would have been a better article if you're not going to talk about selling them servers, talk about how being a multi-platform gamer benefits you. When your PlayStation network is down, hop on your Xbox or hop on your PC. Obviously, if you're only going to center around one ecosystem, you kind of limit yourself. Plus, you're more susceptible to these things. I mean, obviously more so if you're on PlayStation, but the only time, like I said, this generation I can think of were 2 times, and one of them was centered around Diablo coming to Game Pass. The other one was some other change to Game Pass or something. I think it may have been when they ended the test run for the family plan or something, and I think that screwed up things for like an hour or 2. But he should have been talking about, hey, Satya, make sure, or if anything, just, hey, make sure we continue to push things forward with digital rights ownership. So that way you don't have to worry about that, check in every once a month or whatever it is now type of thing, which they've had that before, because those conversations came up when they were down for like an hour. It's like, hey, if my home Xbox isn't my home Xbox at the time, and I'm only limited to 6 changes a year, is there a quicker way to, get this done? Or if I keep my Xbox offline or whatever the case may be, keep pushing forward with a lot of those digital rights management or digital rights ownership type things. That is another thing that I would see being a better conversation for Windows Central to talk about. But, this was not the right time or article or any of that. This should have been solely focused on, hey, aren't you glad you own an Xbox? Game Pass is still functioning, and you can play your games, or you can share your games and all that stuff. So
if you want to incorporate them, even just address the fact that PlayStation is not speaking up on it, right? Unlike Xbox, like you mentioned, they do keep you on the loop. You do feel they keep you on the loop to the point that a lot of these people feel entitled to demand, right? Information ASAP. And so if you are pampered to the point that you feel entitled and you see how PlayStation is handling the situation, why don't you blast them for it? And maybe, I don't know, highlight the brand you claim to love, but you keep shedding on constantly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, actions, they speak so loudly. And for you to go out there, and when you are writing these things, you are essentially doing it for the wrong
advertising
reasons,
dollars and clicks,
for advertising, for the attention. It says a lot about who you are as a person, though. Like, honestly, when you are out there and you're like, okay, well, instead of being transparent, I'm going to figure out how to spin this, even though it's affecting an entire brand, right? It's crazy to me. In a community, though, there are people that care about, obviously, the brand, the box, the games. You're affecting all those people.
Yeah.
You shouldn't use your power and abuse it in that way. I'm just saying, like, there's so much about it. There are layers to it.
There are layers to
yes, there are.
Well, he has to be aware that, like, the Xbox tax, and I know some people will say it's not real. It's definitely real in the sense that there's a lot of gaming journalists out there that skew or lean more towards PlayStation because that's what they grew up on, or that's who's buttering their bread because they get free game codes on a whim to their quote unquote preferred platform at the time. So there are times where I wish he would take a step back and look at maybe a bigger picture or a better focus. Like, I know it's probably an old sore wound, but I kind of wish that some of the 2013 talk could be revisited, not to bring up, the battle scars or anything, but hey, is there ever going to be an opportunity or chance to, make it so we can sell or trade digital games? Like, we got the game sharing, and that's awesome, and we're also going to get the, owned games where we can stream those. But what if we could sell them, or what if we could trade them? Is that something that Xbox could be interested in? That to me would be the thing to bring up, or start bringing up the tougher questions for future hardware. Because once again, some of this article is kind of, set as if they're not already making the next gen console. We already heard Sarah Bond say it's going to be the biggest technological leap.
Yeah.
We already saw we already saw Jason Ronald at CES talking about the software that will probably be the backbone to that handheld, coming out later this year. So you'll probably be able to install it on your ROG Ally or Legion Go. Start asking the tough questions. Hey, will this handheld be able to play the console games I already own and the PC games? Or is one of them going to be streamed, or is one of them going to be emulated? I mean, that might be a little early to get those answers, but those should be the things we start talking about. Because if what I imagine that they're working on now for the next hardware becomes a reality, we will be able to play those console games and PC games on one device, which now at that point kind of eliminates my need for a Steam Deck. And to be able to install the Steam OS or Steam store on that same device, I have the best of all worlds at that point. I have my Game Pass and my Xbox library bundled in with my Steam library that I can, access on a whim. And, some of the PlayStation games are on Steam. So you get everything on that one device. I mean, I would much rather see more articles about Xbox in that regard, because it just feels like the gaming media can't let things go. Like, what is it? PlayStation canceled, 8 games in these past couple of years, right? Canceled 8 games.
10, 11, yeah.
Well, 10, 11. So are they talking about them this week? Will they talk about them next week? No, right? But Scalebound was canceled 8 years ago, and every time a game or it's believed the game is delayed, somehow Scalebound gets brought up. I mean, sometimes we're not even talking about canceled games and Scalebound gets brought up, but we don't hear anybody talking about any
By the way, just a friendly reminder.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, where is Factions? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But, can we just move on from the bullshit? But go ahead, Farrell.
I was gonna say, like, the article this week, with everything that's been going on with PlayStation, it should serve as a reminder of why it's time to buy an Xbox. Like the fact that like a lot of the things that PlayStation gamers are complaining about, Xbox is now providing. Like, one, all the games you're about to buy are in Game Pass. Y'all been begging for themes for forever. Xbox allows you to do themes. You can even do your own custom backgrounds on your Xbox. That's something that you can't do on PlayStation anymore. You know, and the fact that like PlayStation just fired their whole UI UX team, so you know themes aren't coming now. And then you got this massive outage with no explanation for why you have an outage. Like the article should have been about why do you need to diversify and have more than one console, or just switch over to Xbox in general. Like you should, like, this would be the time. This weekend was the time to talk about the benefits of having an Xbox and why people should be looking at it more, as opposed to why Xbox needs to keep investing in hardware. Like, you're telling Xbox that they need to invest in hardware through an article. Like, how many people at Xbox are reading that article? Like, come on now.
You know, the narrative that Xbox has to take notes from PlayStation is just sickening. That's so what it comes down to. No. Xbox take notes. Even when they fail, here, take notes. This is what it's all about. I don't know how else it needs to be spelled out that Xbox is not playing the PlayStation game anymore. They've left them over there running around in circles, and they're doing their own freaking thing. They got sick of it. They got done. They're done with it. And thank goodness that they did. I want to go to Rayuart real quick. Rayuart says, Jess loves the praise from ponies. And listen, this is something I clicked on because it's something I've noticed. A lot of people out there want the praise from the freaking ponies, and they want like the acceptance of the ponies, as if the gallopers are out there to somehow, in some way, play kumbaya. They're freaking delusional. Unless you are under narrative, their crazy delusional narrative, it doesn't suit them, right? So I don't understand where this necessity of feeling this acceptance and this okayed, from being okayed from the gallopers, as if their say-so has any value. It's just ridiculous to me. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where's the need for it. I don't know where you can't just look at your opinion and that's just the one thing that it's valid because it's your own and you should stand on that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I think sometimes people just get into that they have to fit in crowd type of thing. And I know we've, on this podcast as well as other podcasts, we've joked about the cabal in the gaming media. It feels like they're always trying to be the cool kids, which I always wonder. It's like, hey, you guys crap on Xbox controllers using batteries, but I have a PlayStation controller too, and that internal battery sucks. Like, literally after a couple of years, you're lucky to get 4 hours of use out of it. Maybe I'm a crazy gamer and I have gaming sessions of more than 4 hours, but it's like, and then the response is, well, you should have a second controller to charge it. I'm the only one playing on my PS5. Why do I need a second controller?
Why do you need two controllers? Yeah, exactly.
Do I have a second car when the other one runs out of gas? No, that's stupid. No, so why am I going to have a second controller?
You need to sit within 5 feet of your PlayStation 5.
Yo.
Wow.
Yo, that's wild. Let's go.
Wow. Keep it always
plugged up. It's true, though.
Yeah. But
it's true. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I think the most ridiculous thing is that they said that you had to get a PS5 to fix the controller charging issues so that your controller battery won't die as fast.
Yeah, like
instead of just pushing the firmware update to the base PlayStation 5s.
Because with PlayStation is you adapt or you figure it out or you buy more. With Xbox is, Phil, come and fix it, or you should be fired because you don't know how to manage or make consoles or make controllers or make games. It's bullcrap is what it is. But at what point, when you see all the studios that we have, when you see all the games that we have, At what point do you start to live in your own skin and start to feel like the cool freaking kids? When you see them across the yard with nothing but a stick to play with, and you're over here tossing them games like, here, go ahead. Here, go ahead. And they are just waiting for you to look over and hand them something to play with when they are at the mercy of your games. When do you start to feel like the freaking cool kid? How about we start uplifting the Xbox brand and what everything that it has to offer? And maybe you can start, suiting up and living in that truth.
Yeah, I can't.
It's embarrassing and it's ridiculous. How much more do you want in order for you to go ahead and start being a part of what we're getting? If not, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, because I mean,
I feel like that's a hook to a song.
Yeah,
get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I'm ready for it, baby.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Get to packing. Don't tell anybody and just go.
I don't get how PlayStation fans aren't talking more about how like the people who actually understand gaming all just got fired. And now all you have is fucking Herman Hulst running the show. And it just, oh my gosh, like,
he ain't even running the show.
But he's
circus.
He's still running first party, which is horrible. Like,
he's
the game
not running it. He's just the contact point for Nishino.
That's even
Nishino
worse.
doesn't want to look. He doesn't want. Listen, Nishino is like, he's like the stepdad, right? That just came in, right? And he's like, those PlayStation games, those are the ugly stepkids that I don't love. Yeah. I don't want to look at that shit. So you are the mama. You deal with that shit. I'm not looking at those kids. You live in my house now. This is what Nishino is saying to them. He doesn't want nothing to do with those stupid ass kids. But if you're gonna spend $1 on those little shits, you better tell me, and I'll let you know if that's gonna happen. That's where Nishino is. Okay,
that's the point I'm getting at. It feels like nobody at the head of PlayStation knows anything about games anymore. Nobody.
They're all gone, bro.
Yeah,
they're all gone. And we don't. Fun fact: Herman Hulst never knew about games. That's the funny part.
That's what's funny.
Right? So it's like
dude in charge.
He was like,
all these
card, the Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
That's not a positive comment. Get the fuck out.
We're buying the building, guys. We're buying the building. Book that shit.
And it sounds.
Oh God.
Sounds like Neil Druckmann's almost on his way. He's halfway out the door now. Also, so after you lose Neil Druckmann, you don't have nobody at PlayStation that you can trust to get you a good game. Like nobody.
Neil Druckmann already said he's gone.
Yeah.
He said my daughter only has a few years left to give a fuck about who I am, so I'm going to show up. So this Intergalactic, you don't think he's already seen how they're talking shit about it, how it's so negatively viewed? You think he's like, stay here and fix this shit and still have them trash me, or go spend time with my daughter?
Go spend time with my daughter and listen, keep my name intact though. This is a risk they're also taking.
So like all of PlayStation first party is gonna hang on Cory Barlog? Because I mean, like, who knows the game industry?
That motherfucker might as well be a troll under a fucking bridge. He's gone. You don't fucking see him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, who at PlayStation do you trust now to make games, or to understand the games business and the games people care about? Because it doesn't look good over there right now. But we're so focused on Xbox.
I still have a conspiracy theory. The only reason why Herman Hulst is still in the building is because Ted Price decided to retire early. Like, remember how this all went down, where Nishino took over PlayStation and Herman Hulst is still, in charge of first party, even though he has to answer to Nishino now. I think that's because they probably wanted Ted Price to step up from Insomniac and be like, hey, you want to run first party? You know these people. You know about games. You ran Insomniac for all these years. He was like, he looked at that soup sandwich. He was like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
Well, I don't even know that though, because it doesn't seem like they have a clear succession plan at at Insomniac.
True.
So it's like
he picked up his ball and left. He's like, I'm out.
They have 3 people who took over that one position.
Yeah, because they weren't prepared for him to step down. It was abrupt.
Yeah.
Well, he said that he made the decision last year and has been working on getting his successor lined up. He just couldn't find any one person that could do what he can do. So they said, let's get these 3 motherfuckers out here to come run this bitch.
Most people, when they plan on retiring, they give like more than a year heads up.
Yeah.
Usually you get more than a year.
I mean, even the company has an idea. It's like, oh, you've been here for 20-something years, almost 30 years.
So, I mean,
I'm telling you, I think they went to 10. I know last year he was planning to leave, but I think they went to 10. They're like, yo, fuck Herman Hulse, we want you. And he was like, fuck you, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it was clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he said, nah, I'm good. Be easy. Best of luck to you. I'm gonna go fucking grow tomatoes now. Okay. I'd rather do that shit than fucking work at this goddamn fucking Titanic ass ship that's sinking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where he is.
It feels like nothing good is going on over there outside of the PlayStation Store and the console sales. Like,
yeah,
it just doesn't. I don't know. Like, Ghost of Yote doesn't feel good. That Intergalactic game, I actually like the aesthetic of the game, but if people aren't gonna buy it, it doesn't matter what I think. Like, you know, I thought the little space concept looked cool. I like space games, so I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give this a shot. The combat didn't look horrible. I'm like, but everyone went the whole woke, whatever.
Dude, if she didn't shave her head, nobody would have said anything.
Yeah,
or if it was a dude shaving her head, one way or the other. Okay, either put some hair on her or have it be a dude shaving his head, and nobody would have said anything. But because it was a woman shaving her head,
you know,
game's over. What? Like, they accepted. Think about this, guys. They accepted. Man, what's her fucking name?
Abby.
Abby. Whew, shit. I mean, they gave Abby shit, but they were like, listen, she's ripper than 99% of the dudes that walk the earth, but she has long hair. Acceptable. Okay. They show us a
that's
frail,
where they draw the line. They're like,
woman, right?
Yep.
Who would, not have any of those comparisons, but no hair. That's the line. The line's over.
That's the line.
You can make the woman whatever you want, but if a woman, gotta have hair on the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the way they look at it, and that's what has happened.
She was stunned.
So,
she had this poor spaceship. I was like, all right,
she had the dope ass sneakers.
Yeah,
she had a shitty stereo system, but
hey, Sony, what are you going to do?
They need to give her like a wig power up or something. Like, oh, put the purple wig on. And it's like
the next time we see her, that bitch gonna have flowing locks. It's gonna be fucking. This bitch gonna be tangled. She's gonna be Rapunzel in this bitch with fucking locks down the fucking block. You'll see.
If it's hair you want.
It's like, how long? That's gonna be part of the game. You're gonna be able to choose the length of how long you want to cut her hair. She starts with that shit down the block, and you fucking move a pair of scissors up or down. You choose. How long do you want it?
Oh my god!
Fuck you! You're not clicking. How dare you?
Oh, my bad.
How dare you? I read that shit. Razor, you got your 1 second that shit was on the screen. I read that shit trying to play me. Oh man! Oh my god! Facts. Wig microtransactions. That's crazy.
God, that's hilarious. Can you imagine? These Calibers will go crazy over it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Agreed.
Oh,
I have a wig in every color.
Amazing.
I only spent $300.
Facts.
But like Neil Druckmann actually takes a lot of thought into his character creation, though. It kind of makes sense for her to have the bald look, because if you're fighting, you don't want people grabbing your hair. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, but she's using swords. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know how many sword fights end up with somebody pulling somebody else's hair, but I'm pretty sure they keep a certain distance.
Listen,
with the sword game.
That's not the point. Like, it's swinging the sword, right? What if she chops off her own fucking hair?
Yeah, you got that too. Saying, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of consideration. A lot of considerations, you know. And that wasn't no regular sword. That was like kind of lightsaber-ish. So
exactly.
That's true too.
Oh,
that's true too. I'm just saying, there's been a lot
touch your hair to catch on fire.
Star Wars. I don't think there's a bald woman in Star Wars, and they all got lightsabers and shit flying around. So
they got the Force, you know, that's cheat code.
I mean, I'm saying, give this bitch the Force. You know what I'm saying? Let's just let's go all in, right?
Hey,
let's make it work.
Herman tried to make Concord a Star Wars game, so why not?
Facts.
He did. Man, every time.
That's hilarious.
I wonder if they would have had a crossover.
With what, Star Wars?
Yeah, if Intergalactic or whatever the hell that game, and would have had a crossover if it didn't flop. Yeah, if it didn't flop.
With Concord. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if that would work, but I will say this. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what they show. Are they going to show up? Are they going to show us more Intergalactic? I forgot about Intergalactic, to be honest with you. Maybe they'll be like, listen, guys, it's actually going to be good, and show us more. We don't know. But I'm definitely intrigued to see it. We are going to stream it. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern, so
we'll see how that goes.
We'll see what happens. Only 40 minutes.
So 661 wants to clarify that grabbing hair has multiple meanings.
True. You ain't lying.
That's wild.
Listen to him. How much do we have to super?
Thursday's going to be even better.
On and change wigs during the show.
What happened?
What you say, Farrell?
I said Thursday's going to be even better. Sony earnings.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yes.
Maybe that's why the state of play. It's like we got nothing.
They have to report that.
They show it.
Yeah, because they're going to have to report that Concord loss at some point. So I'm guessing this will be the earnings call if they do. I think, bad news, good news, bad news, I guess, with, outage, state of play. We lost hella money.
So they're going to try to say, hey, guys, listen, we do have games, even though the earning report shows that we're dog shit.
We'll see, man.
Our friends at Xbox are helping us out.
Yeah, they got to claim that Concord lost eventually. So, because they didn't claim it on their last earnings report, so it can't hide it forever.
Oh, we'll see, man. We will see.